Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And today it is moi and my Rinoceronte, my rhinocerosnesses, my Italian Tier 10 auto-loading, reloading, loader-reloader, auto-loader-reloader. Heavy tank. 3 shells, named after a rhinoceros, and it's Italian. That's it. That's the whole video. We're done. I was going to name this video, The Game Doesn't Want Me to Win. Because when I got done, I felt like, in multiple instances, the game was working against me. You know what I'm saying, fellas? My greatness as a game player, my specifically amazing capability at World of Tanks. And it was only through the evil, conniving manipulations of Wargaming's RNG system that I didn't win this with 15 kills and 69,000 damage. Am I right or am I right? Can I get a heck yeah? Right? And I'm glad I watched it, because that was going to be the title. It was going to be The Game Wanted Me to Lose, or didn't want me to win, or it was all against me. They were out to get me, fellas. And remember, though, here's the thing about it. If they are out to get you, it's not paranoia, right? So after I watched it, I came to realize that actually the game didn't want either side to win in a couple instances. And when you put it all together, now there was a fire, so obviously RNG was in my favor there, right? Those are the things you don't remember, are they? Aren't they? Are they, aren't they? The things that go your way. You only remember the bad things, generally. And that's kind of a known situation with humans, a known phenomenon, if you will. So I watched this and I thought, wow, that was pretty interesting. And it turns out to be a really close game with some pretty good decisions on both sides, some bad decisions on both sides. Some RNG that went one side's way, some RNG that went the other side's way. And I thought that's pretty interesting. You guys might be interested in seeing how it goes. So we get into the brawl here, and I want to discuss this particular situation here now that it has developed and you've been watching it and I've been babbling. Whew. I have warned against this in general on flanks and specifically on this map, and it goes both ways. I think it's just about the same either from our spawn or the other spawn. It's a little bit better from their spawn, from the purple spawn, going this way if they kind of push forward and get in your face. It's a bit harder, I think, for the north spawn to defend against this kind of aggressive push. The south spawn has a little bit easier time, I think, because they just have better options back here in the Sniperino area, way back in the back. And look at all the big TDs. My spidey senses are already tingling, and yours should be too, both from watching this and seeing what's going on, and if you're in the game and you see this happening. I love the aggression that we have going on, and we do have a significant amount of our tanks here. The problem is, because of how easy it is to generally defend here, and because pub matches tend to not be very organized in general, you can really get whacked. So I am already looking at this going, okay, we got a traffic jam, nobody really wants to go. We're going to bleed some hit points. They have 2 artillery. There's some big TDs. And then and unfortunately I didn't really mean to block him. I thought he was just going. I thought he was going to go break this thing open. So we'll just keep working here. And as a auto-loader, reloader, loader-reloader, I really don't want to go down there. Now, I could go down there and share hit points, take some hits. But I feel like I'd have got focused pretty hard. Now they're all pushing in. And that's okay. We've actually kind of done what you need to do, and we created a really nice little advantage for our team right here. Howsoever, the problem is all of those TDs and the 2 artillery and the guys that are going to be defense in depth, and we only see the EBR as of right now other than the tanks that we're fighting. So there's a significant amount of possible camping tanks sitting back there ready to snipe. And really what I'd love to see right here is clean up these guys that are close and then bail out of this thing. But just watch what happens. I'm going to come this way. I can see the 1516. I really want to sort of go track him down. He's basically free damage. I come up this way. And this was actually fascinating. I got spotted right there. And I guess just by probably somebody in this general area over here. And I should have taken note of that because I make a huge mistake. My move, once I got spotted, should have been straight down that hill and try to get away, but watch what happens. I kind of hang it. Ooh. Now, maybe I don't even get away. Possibly, the better move would have been to not come up to this edge and get spotted, but come around down low right here. But I eat a shot for 567 I really didn't want to eat. And my move right now is, look how many guys we're losing. My move right now is to get back here and start cleaning up the dudes they have pushing our cap. So, all right, good. Hey, that's that one my favor. That was not a fully zoomed shot. Pretty long range shot. I end up hitting, pinning, and killing him. That works for me. In fact, if we want to get down to brass tacks, what is the alpha on this thing? 490. All right, so who knows what the roll actually was, but I got enough damage. At least I didn't low roll, so there you go. Working in my favor. EBRs are raging around. Now I see the Leopard and their Sturv 103. That's an interesting thing that's going on right there, is their Sturv is pushing up. And look at our three that are left with the FV and reserve. Most of them are beat down. There goes the 263. There goes our EBR 90. We have an EBR and a Sturv and a Leopard pushing up into our cap. Our Artie's running for its life. Our Sturv is running for its life. The Leopard is trying to hold off the push onto the cap, and our guys are still pushing into campers, allowing grills that are happy to sit on the cap and do nothing get into the game and schwack guys trying to push in. Just imagine that whole thing had gone differently. We win there. We all turn around. We come back. We clean up all these guys in the cap. We probably have a lot more tanks left, and it's an easy win. But now it's a struggle, right? Now it's a complete dogfight. They've kind of done the same thing in terms of they sent guys up the hard way. They did make it up to the top near the cap, but they lost some people doing it. I'm going to go ahead and try to take out this EBR because he really wants to go after the Artie. You can tell based on the way he was moving around that he was just looking for a way through. Honestly, that's RNG in my way. Not a particularly great shot. It was more or less pointed straight at him. Could have easily gone behind him based on his line of sight. That worked out in my favor. So Leopard PT is at least getting some things done over here. We're up to 2,400 damage and we've got 3 kills. T30 shows up. Holy cow, that's a bummer. So he's over there. Nice hold down tank. Sturv is somewhere down on the bottom, I think. Object 268 is now pushing over and working on the T10. They've gotten our FV. The CC is dead. I was going to say he only has very few hit points. Now he has 0 hit points. And this is the part of the game where, again, it's relatively even. We have lost an artillery, and I'm just looking for ways at this point to try to reduce enemy hit points. I mean, that's the bottom line here. That guy just sneaks around the corner, unfortunately. This one was kind of crazy. I find these 2 grillets. We're going to try to kill that one first. And I'm looking at, where are the possibilities of me getting spotted. So I'm watching all this, all right? Look how far. The grills are certainly not the ones that are going to spot me. So I shoot that guy. I don't know exactly how this happens, my friends. I really do not. They don't have anything particularly fast. Neither grill is going to see me. Maybe the Object 268 got close enough because I'm going to get spotted right here. That shot gets me spotted. 1001, 1002, there. And I'm just looking at this going, I do not know. Maybe the Sturv has moved into the bottom down here in a bush. Perhaps the T30 is just up and over and he caught the back end of my tank and my spotting point on top of my turret did not see him. That's certainly a possibility. But I do get spotted, and now RNG is going to not let me hit that guy, although actually I don't know if I hit him. But I bounce a 750 grill shot. I'll take it. Followed up by 144 damage from the 261. So it really, in the long run, goes both ways, guys. And you are almost always going to see it going against you. My advice is if you get mad at the game and things are happening like that, watch a couple replays and see if that's actually true. And realize that there's another 29 people on the team that are all getting various rolls on RNG, dispersion, plus or minus pins, all that good stuff, damage, etc., etc. T30's here. Leopard's helping me out. I have a Sturv backing me up. That's a great defensive position back there as long as he doesn't get spotted. But we're down a tank at this point, and it looks like some hit points potentially as well. Leopard makes a move, and I don't know if he even makes it across there. I think he gets hit maybe. No, he made it. All right, that's good. Artillery takes a step, so he did get seen. And I'm just sitting here going, well, I'm not really sure, fellas. I'm going to have to maybe hold this spot. Hopefully we can get some lights on guys trying to come up, and maybe I can shut down a couple of them with the old auto loader, reloader. And just as I'm turning, of course, that's when the stirb shows up, and I'm thinking, oh, good, we'll just zoom on in, and boom. Nope, that's a miss. Not fully zoomed in. I was worried about that corner that he was trying to get around. So we don't get that. And I'm down to 2 heat shells, which I've been spamming out. I'll switch over to the 3 shells of the APCR. I get spotted by the 268. He misses. That's absolutely critical. I know he's got a long reload. I know he's a one-shot now. So I was charging around, try to make a decision. I was hoping that the stirb would hit him. If he hadn't been hit by the stirb, I was not going to push in and take the one shot. I was going to stop here and try to get 2 shells going on. But now that he's a one shot, we'll just come in and see if we can't finish this dude off. We got him. We get artied. We take a big hit from the T-30, who only rolls a 723. So that's a low roll. That's in my favor. Conqueror only critted me. My own Artie takes a stab at the T-30 but doesn't get any damage because he shoots into the wall right next to me. Now watch what happens with the stirb. Stirb's going to reduce the T-30. I come over here going, all right, well, he's going to try to come around one of these corners. Maybe the other stirb is going to show up. Does a nice job of putting a shell into the T-30. He's at 500. I'm about with 2 shells. Even better. Now if I miss or bounce, I have another shell more or less immediately after a few seconds. Dude sort of notices I'm here and tries to make a runner. All right, a moving shot. That works. Stirb bounces. For some reason, I'm a complete moron, and I drive right up here. I think I just misassessed where that shell came from, but he's about to shoot me right in the side. So punishes me for dopiness, and there's the Grill A. So we'll go ahead and hide down here. Artie misses, thank goodness. And I would say at this point, that poor 261, and I don't know if that was the 261 or not, but I think it was. More than likely, he is now cursing RNG in the game, trying to make him lose. That looked more like the CGC shot right there. Bigger boom boom. At this point, I was thinking, well, last stand. And the Leopard PTA actually has a good idea. He says, go find Artie. They won't even know you're doing it. And I thought, well, that's kind of a low percentage play, but we're in a bit of trouble here anyway. I'm down to 165. It's only going to take one decent shot from the artillery to nuke me. Even the CGC could probably splash me. Our artillery is playing a decent game. He actually moved. The stirb is up there, and I thought, why not? Let's just go see if we can find one of their or both of their artillery. Now, I will come down through the middle right here. I'm going to take a slight chance on this one. The draw ring is outside of where the grill and stirb were. I suspect they're still over there in that general area. So if one of their arty does light me down here, it's going to take those guys a couple potatoes to get to the edge and take a shot at me. So at least I feel like I can kind of get away. I'm also potentially, because my view range is actually decent in this thing, I'm kind of hoping I catch one of the artillery out trying to be sneaky over here. But we'll come over here. I'm not going to no kidding go right straight through the middle, but I'll lean over here towards the west, see if I can't just get lucky lighting somebody up. And it turns out that I don't do so. There's no one there. So we'll come over, we'll cut left. Again, I'm just hoping I can see someone first, come up to the top. And we don't know where any of them are. There goes an artillery shell just blasting into where I was last. So that's a stab into my last known position. It's not a bad guess for me to be hanging out right there, but I'm nowhere near there, right? Here's to turbos, my friends. Here's to turbos. Allows this thing to get around a little bit better. Both these guys have bailed from the cap. I thought that was really interesting. And then this is where I really started to think the game was against me, despite the fact that throughout that entire game so far, it's gone both ways for both teams. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we'll just kill the Conqueror. We'll shut this guy out. There's one. He's going to move, but we got this. We're fully zoned. Yeah, just a little... Oh. Well, that sucked. Didn't get lit. That works. That tree was kind of in between us right there. Probably bad view range on that. Unfortunately, as I came around, I tried to go wide here because I wanted to try to sneak underneath this, but he was tall enough, and that was low enough ground that he just caught the top of my turret. And I'm thinking, crud. Well, we got to go for it, right? I don't want to sit here and just let the Object 261 kill me. And I don't want the Conqueror to have a lot of time to zoom in. Those things take a long time to zoom in. So I've just got to push up and over, see if I can kill him. So I'll just kill him right here. He'll be dead. Boom. Right into the gun, guys. Right into the gun or an angle or something. That took 2 shells. And more fuel for the game is after me, right? More fuel for the game is after me. And it doesn't even register at that time that I just somehow barely survived a 261 shell that I probably shouldn't have. Little jink to the right. I couldn't have known when it was coming, but it actually saved me right there. And I'm still cursing the RNG of the game, despite the fact that I probably should be out from the 261 shot that I somehow avoided right there. And look at the Sturv. Sturv, for a wonder, doing a really smart thing. He just comes around and gets on cap. And the enemy team, for whatever reason, and I think because for a long time they thought I was over near the cap. So neither one of them was interested against an auto loader, reloader, loader, reloader. They weren't interested in just going across the open and trying to get on the cap. And there's a lot to be said about moving around without being seen and doing it in smart ways. Now, of course, I got seen by the CGC there, so they've known I'm over here for a few potatoes now. But up until that point, they probably thought I was hanging out of the cap, and that was actually powerful. Their lack of SA was a powerful advantage for us for a little while right there. The Sturv gets on the cap, and the Sturvs are generally invisible when they're not moving, which is nice. The grill actually finds our artillery. All right, so that's a bummer, but it also lets us know where he is. He's way over there. Sturv's coming in. RNG works for me there. Again, another not fully zoomed shot goes into the top of the Sturv. Very nice. I'm just going to try to survive this artillery shell. I know it's coming. Get as high and close to this thing as I can. We'll do a little spin. And oh my gosh, that was lucky, right? Looks like he actually had the ability to hit me and just missed slightly right. Also notice where that shell came from, guys. He went across to the other side. So there's a lot of good gameplay going on right here between these two teams. And somehow now I survived the next 261 shell with only 16 damage. I know the Sturv is going to be raging up the hill. I know the grill's going to be pushing in to try to get a light. Between the two, they're going to have a pretty good, powerful position to take out the guy that's on the cap. I could have jumped on cap, but I think that would have just got me lit and probably shot and killed by the artillery. I know the Sturv is on that little back edge. He's going to be really hard to see. They've got to get quite close before they see him. So there's no sense in just sitting on the cap, despite the fact that it would go slightly fast. What I'm counting on is that obviously they're charging in and they have to reset this guy. So we'll come up and around here. They don't know where I've gone, although it's a good guess if you think somebody's going to come up here in this situation. They're probably right. And now I'm using the Sturv as bait because I'm still not sure this is a win, obviously. Here comes the grill. He's lit. I know the Sturv has probably come up and over the hill about right now, if not within the next 5 to 10 seconds. So we're going to hang out here. And like I said, I'm sort of using the 103 as bait. I'm hoping maybe I can find both of these guys and shut them down if they even manage or to kill or damage the 103, that maybe I can then kill them off. But notice the grill's pretty far away still. And we have 23 seconds. So I wait. I'm thinking, oh, he's been hit. Okay, very good. Probably the artillery took a shot at him. Oh, nice. Just as I come up and over, I find him. RNG works out for me. I'm going to do the little wiggle jiggle here. 261 shell. Doesn't come at me. I didn't actually pay attention to when the last... There we go. So he takes a shot in there. Obviously a blind shot. Shoots a little bit short in the middle, just in a desperation move, hoping that he can reset, and thank goodness he did not. I'll come up here just in case the grill shows up and gets a shot on the Sturv. And we close this thing out with a win. Also the Radley Walters at the end for me, 4,683 damage, 8 kills. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that game. And I'll be honest with you, like I said at the beginning, multiple times in that game, like, oh, this stupid game in RNG, it's all against me. It's trying to keep me from winning and all that kind of garbage. I'm glad I looked at that. I'm glad I actually saved this one. I mean, it was a Radley Walters, so that's a fun one to watch. But I think more importantly is just the general idea that, you know what, everyone on the team is having the same things happen. And to be honest with you, that's part of the spice of this game, as annoying as it can be at times, and as unfortunately at times game-changing, maybe even if it goes really bad, game-breaking to a small extent, but over time, I think it adds a lot of spice to the game. And that was a really fun game with a lot of good decisions being made, some bad decisions being made, but that happens every game. It's just, you see them, I think they're a little more obvious in these long games where it's close, where you start to see people playing the chess match, trying to figure out how to win this thing. Then you start to really notice mistakes and good moves because they're a little bit more obvious. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think about all that. Is the game always after you? It is. It's It's always trying to get you, that's for sure. All right. We will see ya.